Cowboys fans, let's take a minute and just breathe because the news we're hearing might actually be the spark we've been waiting for all season. The defensive line, which has been a sore spot for far too long, could finally see some reinforcements before the trade deadline hits. And honestly, that's a huge deal. We're not just talking about a minor roster tweak or plugging a hole for the sake of appearances. This is about giving the defensive coordinator a real shot to prove that his system can actually function when he has the right pieces on the field. For too long, we've watched this unit struggle, and the excuses have piled up. Injuries, practice squad guys filling in, lack of depth. But now there's a window where all of that could change, and that's what makes this moment so critical. This isn't about adding one or two names to make the headlines. It's about fundamentally shifting how this defense can operate, giving the scheme a fighting chance to show what it's truly capable of when it's not being asked to do miracles with inadequate personnel. Now, let's be real. The defense has been a mess. There's no other way to put it. Watching them on the field has been frustrating, painful even, for anyone who's been following the Cowboys closely. Missed assignments, blown coverages, the inability to stop the run. These are just the tip of the iceberg. But what we're seeing now, even in the midst of all that chaos, is a glimmer of hope. The idea that the team might go out and secure a defensive lineman, maybe even a seasoned veteran who knows the ropes, changes the narrative entirely. Suddenly, we're not talking about a ragtag group of guys who are just trying to hold it together. We're talking about a unit that has the potential to make an impact, to force turnovers, to disrupt the quarterback, and to finally give the linebackers the support they've needed all along. This isn't about winning a Super Bowl overnight. It's about giving the defensive coordinator the tools to assess, evaluate, and potentially build something sustainable for the next few years. Think about it. When most of the injured players return, the depth chart will look dramatically different. You'll have starters who have been sidelined for weeks stepping back in, adding experience and stability, and on top of that, if a defensive lineman or two is added through a trade or signing, it changes the dynamic entirely. Now you have a rotation that can rotate fresh bodies in, maintain pressure on the offense, and actually execute the game plan the coaching staff has been trying to implement all season. This is the moment where excuses start to fade, where the defensive coordinator is put in a position to truly show what he can do when given the resources to succeed. Up until now, the narrative has been all about limitations, about what the team couldn't do because of injuries, lack of depth, or missed opportunities in the draft. But this could be the turning point where those limitations are finally addressed. It's also worth noting that adding a defensive lineman midseason is one of the more manageable moves in football. Unlike positions that require extensive knowledge of a complex playbook, a defensive lineman's role is often more straightforward. Understand your gap, get off the ball, create pressure, and make life difficult for the opposing offense. That simplicity allows teams to plug someone in and see immediate results, especially when combined with a group that's starting to get healthy and settle into their roles. So this isn't just about filling a spot. It's about making a tangible difference that can change the trajectory of the team's defensive performance in the short term. And when you consider the bigger picture, the 4-year plan to build a championship contender, every move like this matters. 1 or 2 smart acquisitions can provide clarity on whether the current coaching staff can maximize the talent at hand or if more drastic changes are needed moving forward. Fans have been speculating, debating, and sometimes overreacting to every piece of news, and that's understandable. When you're invested in a team as passionate as the Cowboys, it's hard not to let emotions take over. But it's crucial to separate the noise from the meaningful moves. The defensive coordinator doesn't need excuses. He needs talent, depth, and players who can execute. And the team has the opportunity to provide exactly that in the coming days. If they pull this off, it's not just a trade or a signing. It's a statement. It's saying that the team is committed to giving the system a fair chance, to truly evaluate whether the coaching strategy is effective, and to provide the fans with a reason to believe in the defense again. We've seen too many seasons where decisions were delayed or ignored, and the result was predictable disappointment. This time, it feels like there's a real intent to act, to make proactive decisions that could shape not only the rest of this season, but the seasons to come. And let's not forget the broader implications of this move. Adding a defensive lineman, or even 2, allows for more flexibility in defensive schemes. Coaches can rotate players, try different alignments, and create exotic looks that confuse opposing offenses. It opens the door for creative play calling and allows the best players to be in positions where they can make the biggest impact. That, in turn, makes life easier for the secondary and linebackers, who have been carrying too much of the load without consistent support up front. The potential ripple effect is massive. One or two key additions could transform the defense from a liability into a unit capable of controlling games, at least in part. It's not a guaranteed fix, but it's a necessary step toward eliminating excuses and understanding exactly what this team is capable of when it's fully healthy and properly supported. The timing is key as well. The trade deadline is looming, which means there's urgency behind every decision. The Cowboys don't have the luxury of sitting back and waiting for the perfect scenario. They need to act quickly and decisively. This isn't just about reacting to other teams or making a headline. It's about putting the pieces in place so that the coaching staff can evaluate the players in a real NFL environment, under real game conditions. And for fans, it's a chance to see tangible progress after a season that has often felt like a series of setbacks and frustrations. It's about taking control of a situation that has felt uncontrollable for too long and finally giving the team the opportunity to execute without excuses hanging over every play. And here's the thing, Cowboys fans. It's not just about the players coming back or the potential additions. It's about the message that this sends to the entire locker room. When management makes a move to reinforce the defense, it tells everyone, veterans, rookies, and bench players alike, that the organization is committed to winning now. It signals that the coaches aren't going to be set up to fail, and that every player who steps on the field is expected to perform at a high level because the team is doing everything it can to give them the tools to succeed. The psychology of that cannot be underestimated. Confidence, focus, and accountability all improve when players know the front office and coaching staff are on the same page, working toward the same goal. It creates an environment where excuses don't hold water and everyone has to step up. The players already have the talent. They just need the right support to turn potential into performance. Let's talk about the coaching aspect for a minute because that's where the stakes are highest. The defensive coordinator has been under fire all season, and there's been a lot of discussion about whether he's the right fit. But here's the thing. No coordinator can truly be judged if they're constantly working with a depleted roster or an injury-riddled line. The difference between a coordinator looking effective and ineffective often comes down to the talent he's given. Right now, the Cowboys have an opportunity to eliminate that excuse. If the team adds one or two impactful defensive linemen and gets the starters back from injury, suddenly the coordinator can finally implement his schemes fully, call the plays he believes in, and show whether he's capable of maximizing the talent at his disposal. That's what real evaluation looks like. Fans and analysts alike will be able to see the defense's performance for what it really is, not just as a reflection of missing pieces or roster misfortune. And that clarity is critical for a team with a long-term plan to win a Super Bowl. You cannot waste a year and a half on incomplete evaluations and excuses. Every season is a building block, and if you allow mediocrity to linger due to inaction, you jeopardize the long-term plan entirely. Now, I know a lot of fans have been frustrated, maybe even hopeless, but this is the kind of situation where patience meets action. It's a chance to reset expectations, to give the team a fresh look at what's possible. We're talking about defensive linemen who can get pressure on the quarterback, stop the run, and generally make life harder for opposing offenses. That pressure doesn't just impact the defensive line. It frees up linebackers to roam, allows the secondary to play more aggressively, and even boosts the overall morale of the team. Football is a game of synergy, and small moves at the right time can create a domino effect. Imagine a game where the Cowboys' front line can collapse pockets consistently. Suddenly, the quarterback has less time to read the field, receivers are under pressure, and the defense as a whole looks disciplined and effective. That's the kind of shift that can change the narrative for a season that's felt like it's been teetering on the edge of disappointment. And let's not ignore the trade possibilities. Mid-season trades can be tricky, but defensive linemen are often among the most straightforward positions to integrate quickly. Unlike skill positions that require extensive playbook knowledge and timing, linemen need to understand their assignments, play physically, and execute fundamentals. That means a player coming in can contribute almost immediately, which is exactly what this defense needs. It's not about taking risks on a player who needs months to adjust. It's about finding someone who can step in, understand the scheme, and make a difference on game day. Even a veteran who has been on the sidelines for a while can bring leadership and experience that elevates the players around him. The Cowboys have an opportunity to make moves that have an immediate impact, and failing to take advantage of that would be a missed opportunity that could haunt the team for the rest of the season. The fans also play a role here because perception matters. Too often, Cowboys fans have been quick to criticize, to assume the worst, or to get distracted by narratives that don't really matter. But the reality is, if the team makes the right moves, that noise becomes irrelevant. What matters is how the team performs on the field when it finally has the players it needs. If the defensive coordinator has talent in front of him, we'll see whether the schemes translate into results. If the defense still struggles despite reinforcement, then the evaluation is legitimate and management can make informed decisions for the future. But if the pieces aren't put in place, fans are left guessing and frustration continues. That's why these moves are more than just roster decisions. They are about accountability, clarity, and providing an honest measure of the team's potential. It's also a reminder of why being a fan isn't just about wins and losses. Some people only tune in when championships are on the line, but real fans understand the game at a deeper level. Seeing the team make the right moves, building for both immediate and long-term success, and supporting the players who are stepping on the field. That's what being a dedicated fan is about. It's about understanding the nuances, recognizing the impact of smart decision-making, and appreciating the process, even when it's messy or imperfect. And right now, this process is exactly what could reinvigorate a defense that's been struggling all year. It's not about expecting perfection immediately. It's about creating conditions where improvement is possible and measurable. That's the kind of mindset that separates casual observers from true supporters, and it's what keeps a fan base engaged, hopeful, and informed. The stakes are high, the timeline is tight, and the potential reward is significant. If the Cowboys act decisively, reinforce the defensive line, and bring back healthy starters, they give themselves a fighting chance to change the trajectory of the season. That's what every fan wants to see. A team that isn't content with mediocrity, a coaching staff that has the tools to succeed, and a roster that's capable of executing at a high level. The next few days are critical, not just for this season, but for the evaluation of the coaching staff, the performance of the players, and the direction of the team's long-term plan. Every move matters, every decision counts, and for fans who have been patient and frustrated, this could be the moment that reminds us why we're so invested in this team. The Cowboys have the opportunity to show ambition, decisiveness, and a willingness to give the system a chance to prove itself. And that's exactly what we need to see heading into the final stretch of the season. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. In a move that could shake up the NFC, whispers have been swirling across the league about a potential blockbuster. Marvin Harrison Jr., the standout wide receiver from the Arizona Cardinals, might be heading to the Dallas Cowboys. While nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to team circles suggest that the Cowboys front office has been quietly exploring every possible avenue to bring the young star into Big D. Harrison Jr., who has been turning heads with his explosive speed and precise route running, has been a focal point of the Cardinals' offense, but speculation about his future has been mounting. The buzz in locker rooms and social media is palpable, as fans imagine Harrison Jr. lining up opposite CeeDee Lamb, creating a receiving duo that could strike fear into any defensive coordinator. Some insiders even hint that contract talks could already be in preliminary stages, though both teams remain tight-lipped. The Cowboys, known for their aggressive approach to talent acquisition, are rumored to see Harrison Jr. as a perfect fit for their high-octane offense. Imagine Dak Prescott with Harrison Jr. stretching the field alongside Lamb. The possibilities for big plays are almost limitless. Analysts are speculating that if the deal goes through, the NFC East could become even more competitive, with Dallas positioning itself as a serious contender for the playoffs. Meanwhile, Cardinals fans are left to speculate on the motives behind such a move. Could it be a shake-up in the team's strategy, or simply the lure of a deal that makes sense financially for both sides? League insiders warn that while rumors are flying, the NFL is unpredictable, and nothing is set in stone until contracts are signed and announcements are made. Yet the excitement is undeniable, and social media platforms are already buzzing with reactions, mock rosters, and highlight reels imagining Harrison Jr. in silver and blue. For now, the football world watches and waits. Whether this is a fleeting rumor or the dawn of a seismic shift in the league, one thing is certain. Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Cowboys is the kind of story that ignites conversations, fuels speculation, and keeps fans on the edge of their seats. Only time will tell if this potential blockbuster trade becomes reality, but the buzz alone is enough to set the NFC ablaze. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.